Hello everybody, Chris with Digital Horizons here. I'm with Scott Johannes. We are in the living room of our Experience Center in Brainerd, Minnesota, and we're going to do another video narration. This is a commercial environment. This is actually at the Crow Wing County Law Enforcement Center. We help them out with their Emergency Operations Center. And in this video, we are installing a recessed tensioned motorized projection screen. This isn't a finished install, so to say. This is just the screen install. We have to have our screen in before the ceiling grid goes in because they actually attach the grid to our projectors, or the projection screen. We're mounting some supports, I think, to the ceiling now, right?
Yeah, we're using unistrut in this case. No matter what we kind of laid out in the ceiling ahead of time, there was no real good other way of fastening the screen.
We had to span the supports.
Yeah, if you look at that, we're basically going between the trusses up there to the ceiling support, but we had to be in an exact certain position, so we had to have the mounts.
The screen had to be centered in the room.
It had to be centered in the room, and then the mount points on the projection screen had to be between the ceiling supports, and so we spanned it with unistrut, figuring we can horizontally shift it. We can kind of shift it back and forth on the projection case as far as the depth, and then the way we made the hardware that attached to the unistrut system there, we can adjust the level and the height and everything from that point after it was installed in the center of the room. So,
which matters a lot because of the ceiling tile.
Yeah, I mean the ceiling tile guys come by and they map it all out and they put their center line down, and then all their grid kind of goes off of that center line. It has to be exactly 24 inches on center for every grid.
Well, they'll tell us that their grid's going to be at a certain height. And on this one, we had a little bit of a hiccup that we had to work through, but normally they'll say this is the height we're at, and then we set our screen.
Correct.
And then we leave some slop so that if they need to, or the supervisor, somebody on site can shift it even more if necessary.
And that's kind of what happened here. I think we were told like 9'2" or 9'3".
Yeah. Yep.
And so towards the end of the video, we had that adjusted, but when they came back into the grid, it was a little bit off. So we just had to, do a minor adjustment. But that's why we install them like this, so that we can get it as close as possible, and then later on come back and do the minor adjustment to make it perfect, and then away you go. So
what screen did we use here?
It was a screen from Daylight. I think, what was it, 146 inch?
146, okay. Yeah.
146 inch tab tensioned.
What does that mean? Tab tension.
The screen itself, the fabric of the screen itself has tensioning strings that go along the side of the screen to keep it pulled tight so you don't get wrinkles in the screen, and it doesn't wave.
Right.
If there's a little bit of air, it doesn't wave through the middle of the screen.
It's really important for light dispersion on the screen too, because when the lens shoots the light on the screen, if the surface that it's shining on isn't perfectly flat, you'll see a shadow in the image, and it's not evenly distributed, which can actually interfere with the image that you're looking at.
Right. So this particular screen was a standard motorized screen, but we put the extension kit on it. You can see at the very bottom, which takes a little bit more time to do it, but you end up with a nice, clean, just a straight slot in the ceiling. You don't see a whole box up there. It's just like a 4-inch wide slot the whole length of the screen. So it almost kind of looks like an air, air
like
strip
a
up there
return,
like the other one. So, but put the extension kit on. That has the lips. If you can see around the outside edge, it has a lip that goes all the way around. That's basically what they bring the ceiling grid up to and drop onto. And
they'll cut a smaller piece to it, because it never lines up where the exact tile goes in. But
never perfectly.
They'll shrink it,
yeah. And then the tile just gets cut to match, and then they just drop it in there.
Yep.
And so there you go. Right now I'm working on the connections on the side. The end of that screen, the motor is in one end, and the power is there. The connection for triggering it is there. We always have to test them before we leave them in permanently. You never know if something got shipping damage before, you'd hate to come back and it's got an issue or something.
Right, and
you have to take it all apart again and start all over.
Or replace it if it's like really bad,
Right. So, but yeah, it's a little bit of fun.
There's a process involved. Yeah.